Teacher Domini here. How are you today? Are you ready? Alright, so just finished class number 3. Class number 3. And it was a lot of fun. Since yesterday, made a couple of changes to my approach to the class for the reasons that were outlined in the previous video. So, one of the things that I did do, work on my background, securing it much better, making sure that nothing is falling down around my head. The other thing I did was I timed myself on the slides for today's class. And I went through and I read the profile for today's student. And that helped me to figure out what slides I can go quicker on, what slides I need to maybe skip over, and what the time needs to be when I get to each slide. So I did that. And it worked amazingly. I was able to extend the class at the end and go back over a few things that the student was struggling with through the class. So, there were a couple things that I noticed when I first engaged with the student. Reading the student's profile, they are a very good student. They've been around for a while. Understands the information pretty easily. Moves at a rapid pace through the lessons because generally student is on target. So asked more questions in the beginning during the greeting to kind of see where the fluency was, and I thought that was really well because I spent a little more time in the very beginning slides on the greeting part so that I would know if I could skip over some of the other slides. Turns out, yes indeed, student speaks in complete sentences, uses appropriate punctuation and fluctuation in her reading and communicating, so that was good. So since I saw that, I had already kind of pulled out and identified the slides that I could skip. So there were about 4 slides that I saw that I would be able to skip because it's phonics stuff, and she was pretty good with that. So I was able to skip those slides. By doing that, that allowed me the extra time to have her repeat some things and say a couple of things in more complete sentences. So that was something that I felt like changed that worked really well. I'm also experimenting with rewards. So today, instead of the greats that I used yesterday, I used the happy eyes, the googly eyes. I called them happy eyes. I didn't want to have to explain what googly means. So I used the eyes, and Emily liked them. And so basically, as she earned them, I put them on my fingers. So as we're talking, she could see her rewards on my fingers, and she seemed to like that. Eyes everywhere, the eyes, they see everything. So that was fun. All in all, was able to finish the class successfully, and that was pretty freaking amazing. I can definitely now see how to navigate. So I was mortified when I realized that I hadn't changed into my orange shirt. Not that it's required, but it is the color for VIPKID, and so if you watch all the videos and stuff, most people wear orange. So when I didn't notice that till the class was over. But either way, the class went very, very, very well, and I am excited to report that. So this is my 3rd class. So I feel like a part of getting acclimated and getting in the groove is actually doing your first class, definitely practicing beforehand and acclimating yourself with the material and making sure that you know kind of where you can move around with the time. I did also use the stopwatch on my cell phone to help me as well, because I get distracted in trying to look at the time on the actual screen, in the classroom screen. So I didn't do that this time. I used the stopwatch, and that helped a great deal. So the last thing that I want to communicate for today, I keep still working on, all of the supplies and things that I feel like I want in order to make this a seamless operation. But the last thing that I wanted to talk about today is networking on YouTube, watching other people's videos and seeing and hearing what other people are doing. Hence the reason that I'm doing the videos, because I see that this is helpful, because I want to give a VIPKID, you are great, shout out to Teacher Keisha. And I am going to put her link on this video, and I'm going to tag her, because Miss Teacher Keisha talks about something in one of her videos that I used tonight, and I hope to see results from. I will update you and let you know. Teacher Keisha has a video that you can search for and watch her video. Like I said, I'll try to find it and put the link on this video. But Teacher Keisha has a video about, should you use Google Translate? And at the time, I did not think about, I really was kind of thinking, why? Like, what do we need to use it for? Because we're speaking in English the majority of the time. What do we need to use Google Translate for? Well, I learned today, excuse me, we sometimes have to communicate to the families on the chat side of the classroom. We can assume that they can read English. I wouldn't assume that. Hence the reason they're here. They're wanting to learn English. So Teacher Keisha talked about, that's when you do Google Translate. You do Google Translate to communicate your message in Chinese, so that you don't have to make any assumptions and then be trying to figure out why you didn't get a response on your comment because they didn't understand the English that you typed. So, did that today, and I did that to say hello, my name is Teacher Domini, even though I can still introduce myself in English. I also put on there, if you liked working with me today, please schedule with me again. I also put on there, if you like working with me today, please give me 5 apples and leave feedback on what you enjoyed and what you would have liked me to do better. I'm hoping that gets me the feedback and the apples on today's class, because if I do say so myself, I think I rocked today's class. I was excited and invigorated from yesterday's class. Don't get me wrong. However, I didn't like that there were technical difficulties, and I did not like that I felt like if there weren't technical difficulties, I wouldn't have gotten through the lesson. Today, baby girl got through the lesson, making appropriate corrections with the student, and was able to extend the lesson at the end in order to give the student the opportunity to review some material that she struggled with through the class. I'm proud of myself. Continuing to improve though. Fixed my background. Fixed my timing. What is next for Teacher Domini? Stay tuned, because of course I'll keep you updated. And that is all for me today. So, VIPKID Teacher Domini in the building. I'll see you in the classroom.